So we're getting close to what I consider the beginning of the spring market. So I wanted to talk about two things: curb appeal and credit appeal. For sellers, curb appeal is all about the first response that you can generate from a buyer. When someone's coming to view your home and you're having an open house and you have showings going on, what is it that the buyer's gonna feel when they first approach your property? And so increasing your curb appeal is all about making things fresh, making things look attractive, and also as neutral as possible. Now, in the winter, it can be a little bit tricky because, you know, if there's snow on the ground, you're not going to do the landscaping, all that kind of thing. But if there is snow on the ground, make sure you have your sidewalks shoveled off, your driveway shoveled off, so the buyer doesn't have to overcome the mental objection of even getting into the property at the very beginning. If the weather has broken and it's possible for you to freshen some of the mulch and the flowers around the front door area, just to make the feel from the street as positive as you possibly can. Things like that go a long way. The entry into the home, your goal is to make it feel homey. When somebody walks in the front door, you want them to think, I can live here, right? So you're increasing that initial response that you're getting from your buyer. So the farther they go through your property, the more and more they're going to fall in love with it. There's this old habit with real estate agents from years ago, but where they would bake cookies or have the sellers bake a cookie right before an open house. And the reason for that was really just because of the smell. Although people enjoy cookies, it wasn't really about whether or not there were cookies present so much as it was about when you walk in the front door, yeah, I want to live here. This place smells awesome. So as a seller, you know, working on your curb appeal for the coming spring market is something that can be really helpful with helping get your property sold as quickly as possible. On the buyer side, I like to use the term credit appeal. And so there's a couple things that go into that. Maybe you're not looking to buy right now, but in the coming months, you're going to be working on buying. And so paying off maybe some smaller debts that you might have so that you have more margin with your approval amounts and your loan qualifications, then that might be helpful to get some of that smaller stuff paid off so that you can be stronger on paper when you go into the actual mortgage application process. The second thing with this is get your pre-approval done. Pre-approvals are generally valid for months at a time, 3 to 4 months at a time. So having that done now, when it's kind of a little still quiet at the beginning of the year, but going into the busy season in the spring market, if your pre-approval is done, that's one less thing you're gonna have to worry about trying to do in the pinch. If you find a property that comes on the market and you get rushed into maybe having to put in an offer, you'll have that already set aside. The other thing that you can do is work on your actual approval, which is separate from your pre-approval, but getting underwritten by a lender before you even have an offer accepted. We work with a few lenders who do this now, where they will underwrite a borrower based on their credit, their income, what they have, their assets, and then all you're waiting for is finding the property that you get your offer accepted on, and then you only have to go through the appraisal process with your lender. The rest of your loan is almost already completely done. This puts you in a strength position going into offering because you can essentially waive your mortgage contingency, understanding that your loan has already been underwritten based on you. You're just waiting for the right house. Makes you look much stronger to a seller, gives the seller some peace of mind of understanding that we're ready to go to close on this house as quickly as we can. The buyer already has their loan. We just got to make sure our house approves and you can move forward. So buyers and sellers, you can work on your curb appeal and your credit appeal. I'll see you soon.